And welcome back into the Denver Coliseum. It's time for match number 2 of the Class 1A State Volleyball Tournament as the Fleming Wildcats and the Wiley Panthers set to do battle. I'm Ben Bleckett. Glad you have joined us for our broadcast action here on CHSAA.tv, also airing on radio stations across the state of Colorado. The Fleming Wildcats have played in the last 6 straight state championships. This Wildcat team has been very dominant the last number of years, but this year is kind of a new thing for this Wildcat team because this team is coming into this tournament at 18-8, facing a lot of losses. They've not had 8 losses in the 6-year stretch, have the Fleming Wildcats on this long stretch that they've had. So it's interesting to see this team's approach coming into this tournament, garnering the 5 overall seed. They will take on the Wiley Panthers, the 9 overall seed, who've really started to establish a great tradition of the Wiley Panthers. Head coach Audrey Bauer has a lot of players that I've been very impressed with over the last number of years. This team has come through and really played some very good volleyball at state tournaments, but they always seem to get matched up against this Fleming Wildcat team. As I believe they met in the first round 3 out of the last 4 years in this state tournament, and so this is just another one of those years for these two teams. If you take a look at the Fleming Wildcats, they've got 2 primary weapons in Taylor King and Abby Kurtzer. Abby Kurtzer's been playing right side for this team lately, which is different. She played a lot of outside for her team most of the year, but a change during the district tournament resulted in a lot of success for the Fleming Wildcat team. Whereas you look at this Wiley Panther team, Sabre Purdue, one of the seniors that is coming back on this team, as is Terry Johnson, that was a part of the team that has been to state. Brenna Cash and Maggie Schneider, the other seniors on this team. So you've got some familiar names on this court, whereas match number 1 of the state volleyball tournament pitted Eads against Dove Creek, 2 teams that had not been here in a while. Eads since the early 90s, and the Dove Creek Bulldogs since 2008. The Fleming Wildcats on your video cast on CHSAA.tv will be in their green long sleeve jerseys here in set number 1. They will be going left to right. The Wiley Panthers will be in their blue short sleeve jerseys, or sleeveless jerseys, I should say, and they will be moving left to right in this set number 1. We'll give you starters as they step out here. Our coverage on CHSAA.tv is brought to you in part by College in Colorado. Explore your career options from sports broadcasting to electrician to nurse and more. Take a virtual campus tour of college and find financial aid at collegeincolorado.org. That's collegeincolorado.org. For the Fleming Wildcats, Derek Herbert is the head coach. Derek Herbert has turned this Fleming Wildcat program into a traditional contender over the last number of years as his tenure as the head coach, as he's just reloads every year, it seems like. This is about the 4th generation of players that have come to the state tournament since they won their first state championship on this very court back in 2007. The Wiley Panthers are headed by Audrey Bauer in their tournament, and they've really started to establish themselves as a traditional power in the southeast corner of the state. As the teams meet at the net, and we'll get set for match number 2 of the Class 1A State Volleyball Tournament. The libero for each of these teams, we'll start with that. Sabre Purdue for the Wiley Panthers, a very good libero for this team. For the Fleming Lady Wildcats, it's Megan Chintala, the sophomore. Starters for the Fleming Lady Wildcats are Janaea Daly, Abby Kurtzer, Sage Herbert, Caitlin Bornoff, Taylor King, and McCall Edel. The starters for the Wiley Panthers are Miranda Morgan, Bailey Dodson, Kayla Dodson, Brenna Cash, Terry Johnson, and then their libero, Sabre Purdue. The Wiley Panthers will start with the serve in the hands of Brenna Cash, their senior. The officials are set, and we're set to get underway in match number 2. Both these teams' first matchups, Wiley will have to play at 12:30 this afternoon against High Plains. Fleming will be off till tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Big serve, too big and out. And in opening matches of the state volleyball tournament, you got to rein your emotion in. You get in this environment, a lot of noise, a lot of screaming, excited to be here. Got to rein it in as Janaea Daly plays a short serve for the Fleming Lady Wildcats. Far side swing for Maggie Schneider. Her attack dug out by Janaea Daly, back row. Born off near side for King. Down the line and in for a kill. Taylor King puts it down with authority. Fleming takes a 2-0 advantage here in the first. Janaea Daly, the junior, will step back and serve once again. Short on the front row, dropped it in for an ace. This Fleming Lady Wildcat team has found another gear. Had the opportunity to cover them a lot this season during the regular season, and boy, they found another level once late October hit. Serve deep, fielded back row, set near side. Bailey Dodson off the block of King. Free back over by Dodson. And then Chintala and King stood there and looked at each other, and the ball misplayed between them. So Wiley gets their first point on a Fleming error as Bailey Dodson will step back and serve for the Panthers. Bornoft will set it up and King will punch it far side. Dug out by Bailey Dodson, back row. Bailey Dodson will get a flat free over. Checked up by Janaea Daly on the backside. Back set far side. Abby Kurtzer off the block of the net. Chased down by Sabre Purdue, back row. Set onto the far side and Terry Johnson will tip it over the top of the block. Popped up by King, lift ball. That'll result in a kill for the Wiley Panthers. So Wiley will look for the tie here in the first. Line serve down the middle, popped up high by Janaea Daly on the back row. Set up, and then the free ball arced over by Taylor King. Popped up high back row, set on the far side. Terry Johnson with a big swing. Kept up back row by Janaea Daly, and a free ball over by Taylor King. Johnson checks it out on the front row. Popped up high, set far side. Johnson, big swing, dug out by Janaea Daly. Pipped back over by the setter in Maggie Schneider, the senior. Able to put it down and tie us up at 3 here in the first. Bailey Dodson with the serve. Line far side, popped up by Abby Kurtzer. Bornoff will set near side, and a flat free played over by Taylor King. Popped up high, back row set on the far side. Terry Johnson, a 2-hit violation on the set attempt from Brenna Cash, will end the run for the Wiley Panthers. Back to serve goes Abby Kurtzer. High top deep, popped up by Sabre Purdue, back row set far side. Terry Johnson, big swing, too big and out. The block saw the approach pulled down and let her fly it long. 5-3 Fleming. Back to serve goes Abby Kurtzer. Short top far side, popped up by Sabre Purdue. Set Terry Johnson far post. Through the block and down. Nice swing by Terry Johnson, the senior. And Sabre Purdue will get the serve. Purdue lines it down the far side, popped up by Janaea Daly, back row. Bornoff sets near side. King, big swing, deep dugout back row. Block back near side. Herbert checked up on the front row. Jousted at the net, popped up on the wing by King, and stuffed down at the net by Maggie Schneider. 5-5. Sabre Purdue back to serve. Line serve down the middle, fielded by Janaea Daly, back row, set up Bornoff, and a free ball over by McCall Edel. Popped up on the front row by Terry Johnson, back to Johnson on the far post, big swing down the line, dug out by Chintala. High pop-up, back row, Bornoff sets near side, King tips it over the top of the block and down and in for a kill. Onto the floor will come Timmy Keisel and Rachel France for the Fleming Lady Wildcats. France with the serve. And lining the serve deep. She will be misplayed back row by Sabre Purdue. Ball chased down and careens up into our little press area. Fleming takes a 7-5 advantage. Line serve by Rachel France deep. Popped up by Terry Johnson on the back row. Set back for Johnson. Down the middle. She'll go 2 wide and out. I think Terry Johnson has taken all but 2 swings so far for Wiley on their offense. Definitely wanting to get the senior involved. But Fleming is going to adjust to that pretty quickly. Line serve far side, set near side. Johnson will tip it right into the block of Taylor King. There's the adjust. She had 2 in her face. Timmy Keisel and Taylor King followed Terry Johnson where she moved. Wiley's going to have to find a little more complexity in their offense. France with the line serve up 9-5. Popped up back row set up for Terry Johnson. She'll swing and miss at the net, and the timeout will be taken by Wiley. That'll give us the opportunity once again to tell you about Adams State University, who's bringing you the coverage on CHSAA.tv. Adams State University celebrates a diverse student population, academic excellence, and athletic success. ASU is focused on treating each student as a unique individual with the potential to positively contribute to their community, nation, and world. For more information, visit adams.edu. That's adams.edu. CHSAA.tv, the site to go to see the coverage all weekend long, all 5 courts, all 75 matches. Well, there's a few less matches left on the slate now, as we have already played, I believe, 4 matches, as the 3A court is in 5. Every other court right now is on their second match. Out of the timeout, Fleming with a 10-5 advantage. They'll take the serve. Rachel France will line the ball down the middle. Popped up back row by Sabre Purdue. Joust at the net. Stuffed back down by Timmy Kaiser, and a lift ball in the front row for the Panthers. And Fleming continues right where they left off. It's now a 6-0 run. Back to serve, line down the middle, popped up high back row by Terry Johnson. Set for Johnson on the far side, popped into the block at the net, blocked back down by Timmy Keisel. High floater up for the Fleming Lady Wildcats. It's going to get put down, and Rachel France will step back and serve. She'll line it near side, ball popped up high back row by Sabre Purdue. Johnson off the block, diving dig out by Chintala, blocked back down by Johnson. A second time she'll get the swing and get it to drop.
Come on now, let her run now, let's go!
They need a run right here and right now to stay in this one early, as Maggie Schneider will step back to serve for the Wiley Panthers. Schneider will line it down the middle, too big and out. You cannot afford those errors this time of season in this magnitude of match against a team that's, well, one of the dominant forces in Class 1A. They played in the last 6 straight state championships. Taylor King lines it far side, popped up high back row. Set it up, and Terry Johnson will flat free it down the far side, too wide and out. 14-6 Fleming here in the first. King back with a short serve, lined into the net. First Fleming service error of the match. That's been a problem that has plagued them all season. Terry Johnson will step back with the serve, line down the middle, fielded by Chintala back row. Set it up near side. Janaea Daly off speed over the top of the block, popped up on the front row by Brenna Cash. Free back over by the Panthers. Set far side, McCall Edel, her attack deep. Block drawn into the net on the Wiley Panthers side. And the Fleming Wildcats go back up by 8 once again.
Come on, Wiley!
Megan Chintala will step back to serve. Chintala lines the ball down the middle, popped up high back row by Sabre Purdue. Set up in a big swing down the middle from Bailey Dodson. Dig free back over, and the dig goes into the net. So Fleming takes another point and goes up by 9 here in the first. Megan Chintala back to serve, line far side, lift ball ace. Chintala flies the ball short, pumped up by Dodson on the far side, back onto the Fleming side, hammered back over by Daly. And a flat free will be played back over by Sabre Purdue for Wiley. Checked up back row by Chintala, backs that far side. Abby Kurtzer, too big and out. She thought, am I going line? Am I going wide? What am I doing here? And she thought too much and flew it off. Miranda Morgan will step back and serve for Wiley and play the ball short, and a rotation violation on Fleming. They're going to replay it. Fleming was not out of rotation. After conversing with the official, and the service error comes near side, too wide and out. So Fleming with a 10-point advantage here in the first set, 18-8. And Caitlin Bornoff will check on, and she'll step back to serve for the Wildcats. She's also the setter. Bornoff lines the ball down the middle, popped up high back row by Sabre Purdue. Big swing, too big and out from Bailey Dodson. The block pulled down and successfully baited her into a long hit. Bornoff back to serve. She'll line it deep, too deep and out. Brenna Cash will take the serve for the Wiley Panthers. She'll step back, short top near side, popped up by Chintala back row. Bornoff comes off to Abby Kurtzer. Big swing off the near post. Down and in for a kill. Fleming is cruising here in the first. Got the advantage thanks to a 6-0 run. Janaea Daly with the short serve, popped up high back row by Terry Johnson. Set it up in the arc over the top of the block at the net. Too big and out for Bailey Dodson. And Fleming's up by 12. 21-9. Janaea Daly short serve on the front row, popped up high back row, set it up for Maggie Schneider. Her attack dug out by Chintala back row, Bornoff near side. King, big swing, far side, through the block and on the line and in for a kill. Back to serve goes Janaea Daly. She'll line it down the middle, misplayed back row and ace for the Fleming Lady Wildcats. They're up 23-9. And the short serve will be pumped up on the front row or back row by Terry Johnson. Set and Dodson will free it over in short. Popped out by Janaea Daly. Backs at far side. Abby Kurtzer, big swing off the block. Popped up by Bailey Dodson on the front row. Miscommunication. Two Panthers collide with one another, and Fleming has set points at 24-9. Janaea Daly with the serve. Line short, popped up high, back row. Set up in a flat free play deep. Checked up by Chintala, back row. Bornoff will set down the middle. Herbert banged off the block. Kept up on the front row by Bailey Dodson. Set far side for Maggie Schneider. She's blocked in the net. Kept up by the Panthers. Punch over by Bailey Dodson and dug out. Kurtzer sets near side King. Her attack dug out by Sabre Purdue. Back row set near side for Bailey Dodson. Off the block and out. Nice tool at the net by Bailey Dodson to get the kill. And hand herself the serve. Also brings Terry Johnson to the front row. Line far side, popped up back row by Janaea Daly. Set it up, Abby Kurtzer. Big off the block and got the kill. And Fleming takes the first set 25-10. We'll take a break. We'll come back and have set number 2, 1A State Volleyball. After this on CHSAA.tv. Head to the second. It was a dominant first set for the Fleming Wildcats, 25-10. I'm Ben Blecka back here at the Denver Coliseum. The Wildcats now going left to right, and the Wiley Panthers fielding the serve to start things off. Down the middle, Dodson will tip it over the top of the block. Kurtzer will tip it back over for Fleming. Back near side, Dodson with the attack. Bailey will play it deep. Winged out back row by Chintala. Bump up by Bornoff, far side. King, big swing. Deep dugout by Sabre Purdue, back row. Set back row swing. Terry Johnson, her attack, lifted, and a kill. And Wiley takes their first lead of the match. Fleming went on a 3-0 run to start the first, and Wiley never led. 25-10, the first went to Fleming. Back to serve for the Panthers will go Brenna Cash. She'll line it down the far side. Popped up by Taylor King, back row. Back set Bornoff, near side. Kurtzer tips it down the line, and Abby Kurtzer gets the kill. Kurtzer with the serve at 1-0. Fielded back row by Sabre Purdue. Set up near side, and the attack hammer deep by Maggie Schneider. Ball popped up back row. Set far side. King off the block of the net. Winged out on the front row. And a free ball over by Bornoff. Checked up by Brenna Cash on the back row. Set up onto the near side. And the tip over by Maggie Schneider. No, into the net. That is a 4-hit violation. And the Fleming Lady Wildcats take a 2-1 lead. Abby Kurtzer steps back to continue with the serve. Line down the middle. Popped up on the near side. Set up far side, and the tip down the line by Wiley. Too wide and out from Bailey Dodson. Early in the match, it was all Terry Johnson. Bailey Dodson got some nice swings late in the first, and now it looks like Dodson's getting the majority of the swings to start off here in the second for Wiley. Line serve near side. Ball popped up by Maggie Schneider. Back row. Free ball on the second hit over. McCall Edel pops it out on the front row. Bornoff sets it up, and a free ball attempt played into the net by Taylor King. Bailey Dodson will step back and serve for Wiley. Terry Johnson moves to the front row. Dodson lines it down the middle, fielded by Janaea Daly. Back row, tip into the block at the net. They were calling an offensive play by a setter out of the back row, but she was below the net when she touched the ball, so it could not be an offensive play. The up official says inadvertent whistle, replay. Set far side, McCall Edel hammers it into the net. So Wiley will take the point and tie it up at 3 here in the second. Bailey Dodson, the 5'6" junior, back a line it down the middle. Popped up by Taylor King. Right back into the radar zone of Terry Johnson. Terry Johnson says, I'm going to hammer that down if you're going to give me a free ball. Line serve down the middle to the back line and in for an ace for Bailey Dodson of the Wiley Panthers. This is a very different Wiley team than we saw in the first. Up 5-3 here in the second. Dodson tops the serve down the middle, popped up by Taylor King, back row. Bornoff trying to tip it over, free clear back over by Wiley. McCall Edel will set far side. King down the line, too big and out. And the Wiley Panthers take a 6-3 advantage. Bailey Dodson steps back and tops the serve down the middle, popped up high back row. McCall Edel checks it up and a free ball over by Taylor King. Checked up at the 10-foot line by Brenna Cash. Set near side, big swing. Terry Johnson down and in for a kill. The Wiley Panthers fired up right now. Bailey Dodson back to serve. Line down the far side, popped up high back row, running bumps that up, and a free ball from the back row. Taylor King angled too wide and out. It's 8-3 Wiley, and a quick timeout taken by Derek Herbert for the Fleming Wildcats. Our live video coverage on CHSAA.tv is brought to you in part by Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. They're the day you buy your first car, the day your first child is born, and the day you file your first claim. Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance will be there to make sure your insurance coverage keeps up with all the changes in your life. Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. Get real coverage. State tournament coverage is also provided by Bank of Colorado, a bank with community ties, competitive rates, and personal local service, as well as locations throughout the state. That's Bank of Colorado, bringing you this matchup on CHSAA.tv. Third match of the day will pit Weldon Valley against Dove Creek. Dove Creek losing to Eads in 5 in match number 1 of the day. Just had a 5-setter down on court 3. Go final as well. Dig free back over by Chintala off the Wiley serve out of the timeout, and they'll free it back over from Maggie Schneider. And the Fleming block in the net on the free. You don't need to block a free. Got to have your mental aspect of the game at this level. Far side King will bang it off the block of the net, popped up high, and a free ball be played over by Wiley. Checked up by Chintala back row. Bornoff will set it up, and Edo will line it far side, down and in for a kill. Sabre Purdue gave chase but could not get to it. Both these teams have displayed mental hiccups so far, and against teams of this caliber, we're talking top 12 in the state or here. You cannot be making mental errors like blocking the net on a free ball or freeing a ball into the net. I mean, service errors, these are minor things. Serve receive errors. Lucky to wing that one back over for Wiley. Set far side, Taylor King with the attack off the block. Ball popped up by Sabre Purdue back row. Set and a free ball be played into the net by Bailey Dodson. I know you get a little tight, get a little nervous. You want to try and play something a little cute, but first and foremost, especially in your opening match of the day, got to get the ball clear. Set up Brennan Cash on the near side. The attack off the block of the net from Cherry Johnson. Kept up down the middle of the attack from Maggie Schneider. Popped up by Rachel France. Edo will set far side. King over the top of the block. Ball popped up back row by Bailey Dodson. Set near side, and the attack hammered toward the back corner, but too big and out for Terry Johnson. Fleming back within 3 of Wiley. 9-6 here in the second, up 1-0 after winning the first 25-10. Rachel France with the serve once again for the Wildcats. Popped up high back row by Sabre Purdue. Set near side, and the angle attack over from Terry Johnson. Short down the middle. Keisel will pop at far side. Lift ball on the receive. She'll get the kill. Fleming crawls back within 2. France back with the serve. She'll line it down the middle. Popped up back row by Sabre Purdue, and a flat free will be played over and deep. Checked up high back row by Megan Chintala. Set onto the far side. Taylor King, big swing off the block and gets the kill. Fleming inches back within 1, and a timeout will be taken by Wiley. Once again, state volleyball coverage on CHSAA.tv is presented to you in part by Viera Wireless, offering the best coverage. 4G is now here, and it's fast. Find out more at viero.com. Let's schedule for today. This is match number 2 on the 1A court. Our next match will feature the number 1 seeded Weldon Valley Warriors, the number 12 seeded Dove Creek Bulldogs, and Wiley will be back on the court against the number 4 seeded High Plains Patriots. That one's slated to start at 12:30, depending on the matches in front of it. This afternoon, we'll see Kalichi, Flagler, Otis, and Kit Carson all in action, along with Stratton and Norwood getting their first matches of the day. 4 3-team pools this year at the state volleyball tournament. The winner of each pool advances to the predetermined semifinal matchups tomorrow afternoon, with those winners going to state. So you have to win your pool to get out. This is not like past years, where as long as you finish top 2 in your pool, you're okay. You win your pool, you get out. It's that simple here at the state volleyball tournament. The officials having a conversation with the Wiley captain, Terry Johnson. She asked something, and then the down official, R2, went and talked to the head official, I think maybe to clear up what, I don't know exactly what it was, but it's squared away as Rachel France will serve out of the timeout. Fleming down 9-8. Line down the middle, popped up back row by Sabre Purdue. Terry Johnson with the swing. She and Maggie Schneider both going for the ball. We saw Dove Creek do this in match 1. 2 players going after the ball, running into each other. You've got to talk on the floor. I know it's loud in here, but you got to talk. Near side set, Terry Johnson going to take a big swing. Too big and out. She chopped her steps on her approach and did not get up high enough to keep that ball in the court of play. 10-9 Fleming. Wildcats on a 6-0 run. France will line the ball far side. Popped up high back row. Set over the net by the Wiley Panthers. Down the middle, Keisel with the attack. Banged off the block. Kept up by Kayla Dodson on the front row. Set toward the near side and tipped wide. And out by Terry Johnson. It looked like it went off the block, but nobody called it off the block. Fleming up 11-9. France with the serve back row. Set near side, Terry Johnson will hammer it into the block of the net. Ball popped up high, and a free ball played over by Terry Johnson. Popped up by Chintala on the back row. France Beck set near side, and McCall Edel with the big swing. She goes into the net on her swing. So Wiley will end that run on the hitting error from Fleming. Back to serve for the Panthers will go Sabre Purdue. Sabre Purdue will line it far side. Popped up by Janaea Daly back row. Set it up Taylor King. Her swing into the block of the net. Stuffed back by Terry Johnson and Maggie Schneider. Back to serve Sabre Purdue. She'll line it near side. Popped up high. Back row by Taylor King. Set it up Timmy Keisel. Big swing off the block. Popped up high. Chased down and a free ball. Be tipped back over by Terry Johnson. Popped up by France. Edel will set it up. 2-hit violation on the set from McCall Edel. And Wiley takes the lead back at 12-11. Sabre Purdue, their senior libero, back to serve. She'll line it deep. Popped up by Megan Chintala for the Fleming Wildcats. Set near side. Big swing. Taylor King too big and out. The block baited her just like Fleming baited Terry Johnson in the first set. Go up and then just drop their hands. And she hammered it way too long. 13-11 Wiley. Line serve short. Popped up by Megan Chintala. France will set it up for King. She goes into the block. Popped up by Chintala. King will set it over. Pop back over by Terry Johnson. And King watched it drop in front of France as King's momentum was carrying her away and France could not step in. Wiley up 14-11. Sabre Purdue back to serve. She'll line it down the middle. Popped up back row by Chintala. Set far side. McCall Edel. Big swing down the middle. Dug out by the Panthers and Bailey Dodson. Bumped up high and a free ball be played by Sabre Purdue down the far line. Popped up by Taylor King to King on the far post. Big swing hammered into the net. And Wiley's up 15-11. Purdue lines a serve down the middle. Popped up by Chintala back row. Set it up for Timmy Keisel. Big swing blocked back at the net by Terry Johnson. Free back over by Rachel France. Checked up high by Purdue. Back set Terry Johnson far side. Her attack dug out by Chintala back row. Set up France. Tipped down the line by Timmy Keisel. And it drops on down and in. 15-12 as Taylor King will take the serve. Fleming finds themselves down by 3. King lines the ball far side. Back set to Johnson on the far post. Nice use of the block. Popped up by Chintala back row. Far side, Janaea Dela arcing over the top of the block. Popped up by Purdue. Set up by Brennan Cash. Near side. Tipped by Schneider down the line. Popped up by France. Edel set down the middle. Keisel. Big swing through the block. Timmy Keisel down and in for the kill. But she went under the net on her follow through. So wipe the kill off the board. 16-12. Maggie Schneider will line the serve near side. McCall Edel will field it for the Wildcats. France will set up and a flat free play by King down the line. Checked up by Bailey Dodson back row. Set tip near side. Ball popped up high back row. Set on the far side. Janaea Daly with the big swing. Too big and out. And Wiley should be 17-12. There they go. They get the scoreboard right here in the Coliseum. Service error followed back by Maggie Schneider. Will give Fleming the serve into the hands of Megan Chintala. Chintala lines the ball down the middle. Popped up high back row. Set near side. Tipped down the line. Too wide and out for Brenna Cash. And back to serve will go Chintala. Once again, line far side. Popped up by Sabre Purdue. Set down the middle. Terry Johnson. Big swing. Dug back over by Taylor King. Popped up high. They'll go to Johnson down the middle again. Her swing off the block this time. Down and in for a kill. Just took the Wiley Panthers a set to get themselves going. Fleming took the first 25-15. Line serve down the middle. Ball be fielded by the Fleming Lady Wildcats. Set far side. Abby Kurtzer through the block and down. Nice swing by Abby Kurtzer. We'll get subs on for the Fleming Lady Wildcats. Class 3A, the last court to get to match number 2 today, thanks to a thrilling 5-setter where Holy Family beat Manitou Springs. Sterling and St. Mary's set to take the court on Class 3. Bornoff with the serve down the middle, fielded by Purdue. Set it up in the attack, hammered into the net by Bailey Dodson for Wiley. So Fleming crawls to within 2 thanks to an error for Wiley. Errors will kill you at this tournament. Line serve down the middle, ball be popped up high back row, set it up at the net, joust and in the net. Well, it was an offensive play by a back row setter. In front of the 10-foot line, Bailey Dodson touched a ball higher than the net. You're not allowed to do that as a back row player in front of the 10-foot line. Fleming within 1. Bornoff to Lennon near side. Ball popped up by Sabre Purdue back row. Set near side. Brennan Cash off the block of the net. Chased down by Bornoff. And a free ball back over by Taylor King. Ball popped up high. Set it up near side. The tip into the block of the net. Set and the attack will be hammered down the middle. Ball dug out by Wiley, set near side. Big swing down the line by Brennan Cash, the 5'6" senior. That'll hand the serve to Miranda Morgan for the Wiley Panthers. Morgan will line the ball down the middle, fielded by Taylor King back row. Bornoff sets it up far side. Kurtzer with a cross shot, caught the dig off the back row, and Fleming stays within 1. Wiley's got to find a way to string a couple points together late in the set.
Come on, ladies!
Short serve, ball be popped up back row. Set far side, big swing, hammered deep by Brennan Cash, too big and out. And that hitting error on Wiley gives Fleming the tie at 19 all. Back to serve, Janaea Daly once again, popped up by Sabre Purdue back row. Set it up down the middle, tip over by Bailey Dodson, checked up by Taylor King. Bornoff will back set near side, big swing, hammered deep by Abby Kurtzer and freed back over by Maggie Schneider. Janaea Daly fields a back row, libero swing into the net for Megan Chintala. Got to get a clean field on a free and get yourself moving toward the net. Wiley up 20-19. Line serve into the net, Brenna Cash. Both teams committing errors at this critical point in this matchup. Abby Kurtzer will take the serve. Kurtzer, big top down the middle, popped up high back row by Terry Johnson. Far side swing, Bailey Dodson puts it down and in for a kill for the Wiley Panthers. The Panthers not allowing Fleming to get the lead late in this set. Bailey Dodson back to serve as Terry Johnson is in on the front row for Wiley. Line serve far side, popped up high back row by Taylor King. Chindala bumps it up and King with the swing far side into the net for a hit violation. Wiley with a 2-point lead, 3 points away from tying it up at 1 apiece. Short serve popped up by Taylor King back row. Bornoff carry on the set, 23-20. Timeout will be taken by Derek Herbert for the Fleming Wildcats. State volleyball coverage on CHSAA.tv is presented to you by the Colorado Preps Network. For complete coverage of the state volleyball tournament as well as the state football playoffs, go to coloradopreps.com. That's coloradopreps.com. The Fleming Wildcat football team will play tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, I believe, is the start time in Vona. They'll take on the High Plains Patriots in a 6-man semifinal. Winner will get the winner of Eads and Deer Trail. And CHSAA.tv and yours truly will be at the 6-man championship next week, wherever that may be. Very excited to have coverage of that one for a second time in a row. Wiley with the serve out of the Fleming timeout, fielded back row and a free ball over by Megan Chintala. Ball popped up high back row by Sabre Purdue. Set up onto the near side and the swing by Terry Johnson through the block and down. Set points for the Wiley Panthers at 24-20. Fleming had fire in the first set. Wiley brought out the extinguishers here in the second, and Fleming's not been able to get anything going. Line down the middle, fielded back row by Chintala. Bornoff will set far side. Big swing, King off the block. Pop back, checked up high at the net. Hammered down by Terry Johnson, and that will end the second. Wiley, after losing the first 25-20, comes back and wins the second, or 25-10. They win the second 25-20. Third coming up next. This is the 1A State Volleyball Tournament live from the Denver Coliseum. Head back to the third, one apiece between the Fleming Wildcats and the Wiley Panthers here at the 1A State Volleyball Tournament. I'm Ben Blecka, glad you've joined us. The Wiley Panthers came out with a different approach in the second after losing the first 25-10, and Fleming just did not respond. A little bit of a look of concern on some of the Wildcat players' faces, as they're used to coming into this tournament and cruising in that match one. I think in their opening match of the state tournament, it's been since 2006 since they lost a set in that opening match. They're always winning 3-0 in the first match of the state tournament in pool play. This is new territory for the team in green. Wiley Panthers have to play again today. They'd love to do that with a 1-0 record. As back to serve for Wiley will go Brennan Cash to start things here in the third. Near side, Abby Kurtzer swing block back, popped up high down the middle. Sage Herbert will punch it deep. Ball dug out, back row set down the middle. Bailey Dodson over the top of the block, diving dig out. Back row by Taylor King. Near side tip over the top of the block by Janaea Daly. Ball popped up high, back row set free, played over by Bailey Dodson, popped up by King. Horn offsetting far side. Kurtzer tipping it down the line and in for a kill. The only play she had right there was to go down the line. That'll hand the serve to Janaea Daly as Fleming takes first point here in the third. Ball line down the middle, popped up high, back row, back set near side. The attack by Bailey Dodson down and in for a kill for the Wiley Panthers. Dodson stepped up nicely in that second. And the serve will be lined deep by Dodson. Mornoff, a two-hit violation on the set as the ball was misplayed on the receive. Wiley takes the 2-1 advantage here in the third. Line serve by Dodson down the middle, popped up by Chintala, back row. Herbert tips it far line down and in for a kill. Fleming has gone so powerful. They're going off speed and getting the kill. 2-2, back to serve will go Abby Kurtzer. Kurtzer lines the ball down the middle, popped up high on the back row. Set onto the far side. Terry Johnson, big swing toward the back line and in for a kill for the Wiley Panthers. Terry Johnson has gotten herself some nice swings in this match, most on the right or left side of the net in the first and then in the third. 3-2 serve goes back to Sabre Purdue. She'll line it far side. Set and a tip into the net by Sage Herbert. And Wiley with a 4-2 advantage. Line serve by Purdue down the middle, fielded by Janaea Daly, back row at the net, and in the net went Kaylin Bornoff trying to keep the ball in play. All of Fleming's problems are predicated by getting poor receive on serve and attack. Short serve, nice receive this time, fielded by Janaea Daly, set it up for King, her attack off the block and got the kill. That kill will bring Fleming back to within 2, 5-3. And Rachel France will come on to serve Timmy Keisel in on the front row. France punches the ball down the middle, popped up by Terry Johnson on the back row. Back set for Johnson on the near side. Her angle attack dug out by Chintala on the back row. Back set McCall Edel, far side, plays it to the back corner. Diving dig out back row and a free ball be played over by Miranda Morgan. Set down the middle and big swing at the net by Timmy Keisel. Kept in play and Chintala punch free over. Popped up high back row. Set down the middle. Terry Johnson off the block. Kept up by Chintala back row. Janaea Daly will set far side and the attack will be hammered deep by McCall Edel. Dug out back row by Sabre Purdue. Set far side for Maggie Schneider. Her attack off the block. Dug out back row by Chintala. France near side King off the block. Dug out back row by Bailey Dodson. Set onto the far side. Maggie Schneider. Her attack tipped down the line. Diving dig out back row by Chintala. Tipped over by France. Free clear. Misplayed on the front row, and the long rally goes the way of the Fleming Wildcats. Line serve by Rachel France goes into the net. Oftentimes you get a long rally like that ends, and you just kind of have that deep breath, and you commit an error, and it negates everything you did to get that long rally. Line serve near side, nice serve by Maggie Schneider, fielded by the Wildcats and tipped back over by Janaea Daly. Ball popped up high back row. Set Terry Johnson down the middle. Rejected back by King and Keisel. Kept and freed back over by Miranda Morgan. Set up France near side and Keisel free it off the block. Popped up by Morgan on the front row. Set down the middle for Terry Johnson. Her attack splits the block and drops in for a kill. Terry Johnson is having the best match not just of anybody in blue, but anybody on this court. As the line serve comes near side. Popped up by Janaea Daly. Timmy Keisel off the block and nearly down. Can't be played out of the net after being dug out. And Fleming stays within 2. Taylor King will take the serve. King will line the ball down the middle. Popped up high off the back row. Set it up in the tip. Terry Johnson near side. Dug out by Megan Chintala. France will set far side. McCall Edel down the line. Dug up back row by Sabre Purdue. Set onto the far side for Brennan Casher. Attack off the block. Kept in play by a couple arms, but could not get a third hit on it. And Wiley up 8-5 here in the third. Johnson pounds the ball down the middle. Fielded back row by Taylor King. Set it up and McCall Edel will tip it into the block. Stuffed down by Bailey Dodson. Terry Johnson will take the serve and line it down the middle. Popped up high back row by Megan Chintala. Set it up. Timmy Keisel hitting air into the net. 10-5. The Fleming bench looking cautiously at the scoreboard, down by 5. Trying to figure out when to take that first time out. Near side Janaea Daly with the attack. She'll stave it off for a little bit here as she gets the kill. Abby Kurtzer will come on. And Megan Chintala will step back to serve for the Fleming Wildcats. The sophomore libero lines at far side. Fielded back row by Brennan Dodson. The tip by Dodson into the block at the net, and a free ball will be played over, but a lift or a carry on that free, I should say. And Wiley maintains the advantage. Miranda Morgan will step back with the serve. She'll line it down the middle, popped up high, back row by Taylor King. Set it up, Abby Kurtzer off the block, popped up by King on the front row, tip back on the far side. Set free toward the back corner, chased down by Chintala, ran up high. Prince will set it near side, and a free ball played over by either Janaea Daly or Taylor King. Set down the middle, Dodson will tip it over the block. Popped up on the front row by Abby Kurtzer. She'll flat free it toward the back corner. Chased down by Terry Johnson, set far side. The attack banged off the block in the net by Brenna Cash, and it can't be dug cleanly. And Wiley takes a 12-6 advantage here in the third. Match number 1 of the day. We saw Eads dominate the first set and have to go to 5 to win it after getting down. A bad set on the far side goes into the antenna. It's 13-6 Wiley, and a timeout taken by Derek Herbert for the Fleming Wildcats. Our state volleyball coverage on CHSAA.tv is brought to you by College in Colorado. Explore your career options from sports broadcasting to electrician to nurse and more. Take a virtual campus tour of college and find financial aid at collegeincolorado.org. That's collegeincolorado.org. The first match of the day saw Eads win 25-18, but they were up 24-13 in that first set. Pretty dominant fashion. For Dove Creek got on a little run and then put together a 5-1 run and another 6-1 run to start the second. They won the second and the third. Eads battled and won the fourth and then took it in the fifth. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for either of these teams to have things go a similar direction here at the state volleyball tournament on the end court this year here at the Denver Coliseum. Panthers with the serve out of the Wildcat timeout. Abby Kurtzer's attack deep, popped up high back row. Far side set, Brennan Cash will hammer the ball out, down the line, and in the run. Kaylin Bornoff and Sage Herbert will check on for the Fleming Wildcats. And Bornoff back to serve. She'll line it down the middle. Misplay back row by Sabre Purdue, but a nice set down the middle. We'll get the attack from Bailey Dodson. Back near side. Abby Kurtzer, big swing toward the back corner, but missed the back corner. Matt Hittinger will give the serve over to Brenna Cash. Cash is served deep, popped up high back row by Chintala. Through the block at the net goes Janaea Daly. The dig over and a lift trying to keep the ball in play on the front row makes it 15-7 Wiley. Brenna Cash will step back and take the serve once again. Cash lines the ball down the middle, popped up high on the back row by Taylor King. And the attack into the net. And Wiley up by 9 here in the third. Brenna Cash back to serve once again. Cash lines the ball down the middle, popped up high by Gentala. Bornoff will set it, and the punch over by Sage Herbert. Sage Herbert has been all season long the 4th or 5th offensive option on this team. She may be the most consistent one right now. Janaea Daly will fly the ball far side, popped up high for Wiley by Maggie Schneider, and a free ball be played over by Sabre Purdue. Popped up by Taylor King. Back near side, King with the swing through the block and down. Got to get Taylor King, Janaea Daly, Abby Kurtzer. You've got to get those regular offensive options going. Janaea Daly will continue with the serve down by 7. Ball popped up high back row, sent near side, through the block at the net, down and in for a kill. Bailey Dodson for Wiley, and while you're seeing Wiley do that, they're getting their regular offensive options going. Terry Johnson, Bailey Dodson. Dodson will take the serve. Line down the middle, fielded by Chintala back row. Set it up near side. King, big swing, far side, ball misplayed back row. Taylor King will get the kill because of it. Back to serve goes Abby Kurtzer. She flies her serve too big and out. The serve from Sabre Purdue, line deep, missed the back line. That judge right there Said it missed. And back to serve goes France. Timmy Keisel in on the front row for Fleming. Rachel France will line it down the middle. Popped up by Dodson. Back into the radar zone of Taylor King. She hammered it too big and out. You got a free ball back. Let your offensive option work. Serve deep, popped up back row by Chintala, set near side. McCall Edel over the top of the block. Ball checked up back row by Brenna Cash to Cash on the far side. She's blocked by Keisel. Check free over by Schneider. Popped up high. Edel sets down the middle. Keisel off the block. Caught the line. Stuff block back by Terry Johnson. 20-11. The Wiley Panthers 5 points away from going up 2-1. Line down the middle, make it 4 on an ace. Nice serve right there by Maggie Schneider, one of the seniors on this Wiley team, and Fleming will take a timeout. High school students can start their college education and earn high school credit through Adams State University's early college and concurrent enrollment programs. Online courses offered throughout Colorado. For more information, visit exstudies.adams.edu. They present you the coverage on CHSAA.tv. We're glad to be bringing you the entire Class 1A tournament for a second year in a row. Live video online. The Wiley Panthers up 21-11 on Fleming after Fleming, they dominated the first set, 25-10. Came out firing on all cylinders, click, click, click. And then the second set came and Wiley said, okay, we're at state. Let's get ourselves rolling. Panthers with the serve out of the timeout, fielded near side by Keisel for Fleming. Far side King with a swing off the block, and it dropped in front of Sabre Purdue on the back row. So the timeout worked, but they need a huge run on the serve of Taylor King right now. As King steps back, and she'll float the ball down the middle. Popped up by Bailey Dodson, back row. Set it up in the attack hammer by Terry Johnson. Far side, getting it one and done once again. Are the Wiley Panthers on the Fleming Wildcats. Terry Johnson will step back with the serve. He'll line it down the middle, popped up high, back row by Megan Chintala, set up near side. And the big attack, too big and out for Timmy Keisel. Did not get the block, 23-12. Wiley 2 away from going up 2-1 on the number 5 seeded team. Line serve down the middle, popped up by Taylor King, back row. France will set it over and drop it down. Back row setter had to make sure she didn't play that higher than the net. And she did not and gets the kill. Megan Chintala will step back to serve. Chintala lines the ball near side. Ball popped up by Terry Johnson, back row. Can't be winged out in enough hits to get it over without a violation. 4-hitter. It's now 23-14. Line serve by Chintala down the middle. Popped up high off the back row. Set on the far side. Big swing. Bailey Dodson hopped the net cord down the line and in. And it's set points at 24-14. Miranda Morgan will take the serve for the Panthers. Morgan tops the ball near side. Popped up high by King on the back row. Set near side. Abby Kurtzer cross shot. Got the kill to stave one off. Caitlin Bornoft and Sage Herbert will come on for Fleming. Bornoft lines the ball down the middle, popped up high off the back row. Set up down the middle, Bailey Dodson, 4-hit violation as she hammered it into the net, so another staved off. 24-16. Bornoft will line the ball deep. Popped up by Sabre Purdue, back row set near side at the net. Another 4-hit violation. Brenna Cash did not hit the block. She caught the net. The Wiley coach cannot believe it, but I'm sitting right on the net. That did not catch the block. Bornoft Flies the ball deep, popped up high back row by Sabre Purdue. Back set near side. Brennan Cash arcs it over the block. Chintala tries to keep it up, cannot. And Wiley puts it away 25-17. They have Fleming down 2-1 when we come back, set 4 from the 1A State Volleyball Tournament at the Denver Coliseum. Welcome back into the Denver Coliseum. We head to the 4th for the first time since 2006. Fleming finds themselves down 2-1 in a pool play match. I'm Ben Blecker. The Fleming Wildcats won 25-10 in the first. I thought, this is going to be a cruise. Well, the Wiley Panthers came out a different team in the second, won 25-20, and the third won 25-17. And they've got Fleming, who's played in the last 6 straight state championship matches, on the ropes of going 0-1. Line serve down the middle, ball popped up back row by Wiley, not cleanly, lift ball on the set. And Fleming takes the opening point here in the 4th. Janaea Daly will step back with a serve. She'll drop it in for the ace. That's a different Fleming team that came out. They just needed to get their backs against the wall here in the opening match for them, match number 2 of the 1A court. Far side set swing at the net by Brenna Cash. The senior's been swinging well. Late set 3, and then to kick things off here in the 4th, gets the kill and gives herself the serve, down 2-1. Cash back with a serve, line down the middle, popped up by Chintal on the back row, set up by Bornoff. Far side King with the swing off the block, and in the net went the block for Wiley. We've seen a lot of in the net and 2 hit violations through the first 2 matches of the state volleyball tournament. Abby Kurtzer back to serve. She'll line it deep. Ball winged out back row by Terry Johnson, and a free ball be played over by Kayla Dodson. Ball dug out back row, set down the middle. Sage Herbert tip near side, down and in for a kill. Sage Herbert puts Fleming up 4-1 and keeps a serve on the Wildcat side with Abby Kurtzer. Kurtzer lines the ball, clips the net court, pumped up on the front row by Brennan Cash, set free, played over and deep. Checked up by McCall Edel, back row, set down the middle. Sage Herbert tip far side, winged out back row, tip back down by Sage Herbert, popped up again, and the tip back over by King, winged out front row by Maggie Schneider. Schneider will get the free ball over off the block, kept up by Bornoff, chased down by Abby Kurtzer, and a free ball be played over by Bornoff. Ball dug out on the far side by Terry Johnson, set, and the attack wide by Bailey Dodson, but McCall Edel, who's 5'11", jumped to play a ball as she was standing on the near line. Mental errors will kill you at this tournament. That's a huge mental error right there. Let's see if Wiley can capitalize. Bailey Dodson lines the ball far side. Fielded by Taylor King. Back row, Bornoff back to King on the far post. Hammered into the net. Wiley looking for the tie at 4. Up 2-1 on Fleming. Ball floated short, diving dig out by Janaea Daly, back row, set it up, King down the middle, big swing, down and in for a kill goes Taylor King. Wiley has to play later on today against High Plains. They get one match off. They'd love to do it on a win. Fleming has to sit around till 8 a.m. tomorrow morning before they see High Plains. Line serve down the far side, popped up high, back row, set it up in the near side swing. Terry Johnson pounds it down and in for a kill. The Wiley Panthers will look for the tie again. They hand the serve to Sabre Purdue. She went on a 6-0 run in the third on her serve. She'll line it down the middle, popped up by Chintala on the back row, set it up for Timmy Keisel. She'll hammer it toward the back corner, dropped it into the back corner for a kill. Did the middle. First kill since the first set. Taylor King steps back to serve. She'll line it down the middle. Ball popped up high on the back row by the Wiley Panthers. Back set Terry Johnson off the block. And the ball kept in play, but a lift ball on the keep up. So Terry Johnson gives the Panthers the point. And a third crack at a tie here in the fourth. Maggie Schneider will step back to serve. Schneider lines the ball down the middle. Popped up by Taylor King on the back row. Set it up far side. Big swing. Too big and out by Timmy Keisel. And it's 6-all. Line serve, played down the middle, popped up high on the back row by Chintala at the net. Who was in the net? Rachel France was in the net. Both sides ended up in the net. It was just a matter of who got in the net first and forced the other one into it. Wiley takes a 7-6 advantage here in the fourth. Maggie Schneider back to serve, line down the middle, popped up by King. Back row set over by France and a free ball back over by Brenna Cash. Bump set up by Keisel, far side. McCall Edel with the attack into the block. Popped up by Janaea Daly on the front row. France will set it up for Keisel. Her downfall swing will be popped back over by Wiley. Checked up by King. Back set near side. Janaea Daly with a big attack. Line deep. Dugout back row by Sabre Purdue. And free back over. Chintala chase it down. Set far side. McCall Edel hammers it toward the back corner. Popped up by Bailey Dodson. Back row set near side. Big swing rejected back by Janaea Daly on the Cash swing. And she gets it down, 7-all. Megan Chintala will step back to serve. She lines it down the middle, popped up by Bailey Dodson near side, back set, and a 2-hit violation on the back set. As the dig got on top of Maggie Schneider pretty darn quickly. Short serve by Megan Chintala will be popped up on the back row, set down the middle, and the big attack by Terry Johnson, blocked by Timmy Keisel. Kept up in a free ball played over by Schneider. Checked up by King on the back row. Set on the far side. Abby Kurtzer off the block the net. Ball popped up high by Bailey Dodson. Set over, pop back over by Abby Kurtzer. Set down the near side. Stuff back down by Keisel. Wing back out by Schneider on the front row. Kept up by France. Janaea Daly, a back row set to Taylor King. Big top near side. Dug out by Dodson. Back row set near side. Cash, big swing deep. Popped up high back row by Chintala. King, and then a free ball over by Janaea Daly. Dug up high on the back row. Set by Schneider. Down the middle for Terry Johnson. Hammered into the net. The longer a rally goes, the more likely it is to end on a hitting error. It's exactly what happened right there. Line serve down the middle, popped up high on the back row. Set up for Terry Johnson, her attack angle far side, dug out by Taylor King. Set far side, Abby Kurtzer, big swing, dug by Sabre Purdue, back onto the Wildcat side. Set down the middle, and the attack from Timmy Keisel off the block, and could not be dug cleanly, and Timmy Keisel gets the kill. Fleming goes up 10-7 here in the fourth, trying to force the fifth. Line serve down the middle, ball be popped up back row and not played cleanly on the second hit. And Wiley going to take a timeout here in the fourth, down 11-7. State volleyball coverage on CHSAA.tv is brought to you by Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. People count on Farm Bureau Insurance for quality products, fast, fair claim service, and insurance coverage that makes sense. That means you get the protection you need along with some of the best discounts available. People from every walk of life depend on Farm Bureau Insurance, and you can too. Colorado Farm Bureau Insurance. Get real coverage. The Wiley Panthers have won the last two after losing the first 25-10. But Fleming trying to force that decisive fifth set. Their last match in this Coliseum was a five-setter. It was in the state championship last year. Megan Chintala steps back to serve. She'll line it down the middle, popped up back row for the Wiley Panthers. Terry Johnson bangs it off the block of the net, popped up by France. Set ball freed over by Taylor King, popped up front row, two-hit violation. Terry Johnson and Maggie Schneider both going for the ball, and Johnson, who got to it first, got tagged with the two-hit violation. Chintala with the jump serve once again, up 12-7. Set far side, the attack banged off the block of the net, checked up high, bump set up by Chintala, and a back row swing by King into the net. See if the Panthers can capitalize on an error. They did in the third. That's why they're up 2-1. Terry Johnson with a line serve down the middle. Popped up by Chintala. Back row. Set it up in the attack by Abby Kurtzer over the top of the block of the net and down and in for a kill. 13-8. Caitlin Bornoft and Sage Herbert in on the front row for the Fleming Wildcats. Bornoft will take the serve. She'll line the ball down the middle, popped up high off the back row, back set far side, crash off the block of the net. Checked up high, Bornoft underneath it, back set near side, Junea Daly, arc deep, ball dug up back row by Sabre Purdue. Set down the middle, the attack, Bailey Dodson caught the line on the far side. Great angle played by Dodson from the middle to the far line to drop it in. And back within four come the Wiley Panthers. They'll hand the serve to Miranda Morgan. The freshman flies it far side, popped up by Taylor King back row. Set it up far side. Off the block at the net goes Abby Kurtzer. That's a whole new level right there. And grows the lead back out to 5. Short serve by Junea Daly, popped up back row by Terry Johnson, set down the middle, and off the block goes Bailey Dodson, and down and in for a kill. Bailey Dodson, the 5'6 junior, has put down some nice ones today, really catching Fleming off guard. They were prepared for Terry Johnson, there's no doubt about that, but Bailey Dodson, they've had trouble with. Brenna Cash served, too big and out. Good let go by the Wildcat back row. Wildcats will take the serve and hand it off to Abby Kurtzer. Abby will line it deep, too deep and out. Line serve will be played down the far side, popped up by Junea Daly, joust at the net, won by Wiley, and a free ball played over by Taylor King. They're going to say Fleming was in the net. Wildcats were calling for the play on the ball over the net, did not get it. Lead cut down to 3. Line serve near side, fielded by Chintala back row. Bornoft will set it up, and King will tip it off the block and down and in for a kill. Fleming 9 points away from forcing the 5th as Rachel France comes in with the serve. France will line it down the middle, popped up back row by Terry Johnson, joust at the net, won by McCall. Edo kept up on the Wiley side, and a free ball be played over. Checked up by Junea Daly back row. Keisel set down the middle, push far side, popped up by Kayla Dodson, bump up, and a free ball be played over by Bailey Dodson. Far side, Taylor King chase it down, looked maybe out of bounds. Popped up by Chintala back row. Set near side. Attack Terry Johnson off the block. Popped up high on the front row. Set back near side. Terry Johnson again over the top of the block. Chased down by Chintala. Set far side King. She'll flat free deep. Popped up high back row. Set onto the near side in the attack. Terry Johnson into the block and got the kill. Sabre Purdue will take the serve. Fleming up 16-13 here in the fourth. Line down the middle, fielded back row by Janaea Daly. Set far side, McCall Edel. Her angle near side will be winged out by Bailey Dodson. Setting a free ball, be played over by Miranda Morgan. Checked up by Chintala back row. Back set near side, King with the swing. Deep dug up by Sabre Purdue back row. Set far side, Terry Johnson. Her line deep will be dug out on the back row by Megan Chintala. Back set near side, King flutters over the top of the block. The net ball popped up high back row. Set up on King on the far side, and she flutters it to the 10-foot line and able to put it down and give herself the serve. Taylor King lines the ball down the middle, popped up back row by Terry Johnson. Johnson with a flat line, played far side, and the Fleming defense adjusted to the cross, which is a lot of what has been played by Terry Johnson in this match. And it'll be lined down the middle. Popped up high back row by Chintala. Chintala will get the free ball over off the receive. Set up Schneider on the far side. Terry Johnson, big swing cross, missed the line on the near side. Fleming stays up by 4. Chintala back to serve. She'll line up far side. Ball dug out back row, set up, and a free ball be played off the block of the net by Terry Johnson and cannot be dug cleanly by the Wildcats. And Wiley back within 3 here in the fourth. They're up 2-1. Terry Johnson with the serve, line down the middle. Popped up back row by Taylor King. Set far side. Abby Kurtzer, big swing down the line. Dug up by Schneider on the back row. Bumped up and a free ball be played over by Terry Johnson. Checked up high far side by Abby Kurtzer. Set over the net by Rachel France. Popped up on the front row and free back over by Wiley. Checked up by Chintala back row. Keisel set down the middle. Bangs it off the block and out. And the Fleming Wildcats back up by 4 as Bornoff and Herbert come in. Bornoff back with a serve, line near side. Ball be dug out back row, running bump set, and a free ball be arced deep to the back corner by Bailey Dodson. Far side swing, Abby Kurtzer for the Fleming Wildcats. Popped up on the front row by Wiley. And a free ball be played over by Bailey Dodson. Checked up by John Daly back row. Tip near side. Sage Herbert got too cute and tipped it into the net. And Wiley back within 3 once again. We're just siding out here. If Wiley wants to put this one away, they need a run. Miranda Morgan with the serve. Line far side, Taylor King pops it up back row. Bornoff sets far side. Abby Kurtzer, big swing. Did she catch the block? Yeah, she did. And Fleming will hand the serve to Janaea Daly, the junior. Line serve down the middle, set far side. Big swing, hammered in for a kill by Brenna Cash. Great look by Cash right there. She got up nicely and put it down. She'll give herself the serve. Line serve will be popped far side, fielded by Taylor King, back row, back set near side. Abby Kurtzer tipped down the line. Checked up on the front row by Terry Johnson, back set far side. The angle attack will be played over. Checked up high by Bornoff, set far side, and the tip by Taylor King down the far line. Dug out back row set near side, and the angle attack will be played deep by Schneider, chased down by Janaea Daly. Set far side, big swing into the block, no, into the net by Taylor King. And Wiley's within 2, 20-18 here in the fourth. Line serve down the middle, popped up high, back row King with a swing arc deep. Fielded back row by Sabre Purdue, near side swing by Schneider, hammered into the net. And the Fleming Wildcats will hand the serve to Abby Kurtzer. Kurtzer lines the ball down the middle, popped up high off the back row, back set far side, big swing off the block at the net by Dodson. She'll get another re-swing, and McCall Edel going down to get that one, lost her balance and ended up offline. And Wiley back within 2 once again, this time handing the serve to Bailey Dodson. Dodson lines the ball down the middle, popped up high, back row by Janaea Daly, set it up, and the swing by King near side. Popped up by Dodson on the back row, and a free ball be played over by Schneider. Checked up high, back row by Janaea Daly. Back set near side, attack by McCall Edel deep. Ball be dug out back row. Back set on the far side, and the attack hammered down the line and in for a kill by Terry Johnson. Wiley's within 1 of Fleming. Wildcats have been in control of this set, and Derek Herbert's going to let his team work on it on the court. Dodson lines it far side. Popped up by King back row. Chintala sets for Edel. She'll bang it off the block, down and in for a kill, preventing the tie. Rachel France on to serve. France lines the ball down the near side. Ball dug out back row by Sabre Purdue. Near side set. Terry Johnson off the block. Kept up by Chintala. And a free ball attempt by France. Tip block. Dug back over after the free by the Wildcats. And the near side set for Taylor King. Push down the line. Sabre Purdue with a diving dig out back row. Set it up and a free ball play deep by Terry Johnson. Dug out back row by Janaea Daly. Set it up for Keisel. Tip down the line. Ball chased down back row. Set near side and a free ball will be played over by Terry Johnson. Chintala going to free it back down the line. Popped up high back row by Brenna Cash. Set it up in the lefty tip by Schneider. Down and in for a kill, and Wiley's within 1 again. The Panthers 4 points away from winning in 4, with the Wildcats 3 points away from forcing the 5th. Line serve far side, fielded back row by Janaea Daly. Back set near side. Taylor King, big swing. Far side, popped up high back row, and in the net was Schneider trying to keep the ball in play. So the Wildcats get some help from a little air on the Wiley side. And back to serve goes Taylor King. She'll line it far side. Ball misplayed back row. That's an ace, and set points to force the 5th. Fleming is up 24-21. Serve played short by Taylor King. Popped up high back row. Back set far side. Terry Johnson down the line. Popped up by King back row. France will set far side Edel. And France was in the net on the set. So 1 staved off. Still 2 more to go for Wiley to avoid a 5th set. Fleming just needs to get a point and force that decisive 5th. Back to serve. Line far side. Popped up. Janaea Daly down the middle goes Keisel. Her attack dug out back row by Sabre Purdue. Far side Terry Johnson's attack down the line and in for a kill. A second staved off, 24-23. And Fleming is going to burn a timeout as they want to talk. State tournament coverage on CHSAA.tv is brought to you by Bank of Colorado. A bank with community ties, competitive rates, and personal local service and locations throughout the state. That's Bank of Colorado providing you the state tournament coverage on CHSAA.tv. We're glad to be on air for you on this one. Glad to bring you the entire state tournament. Lots of great teams in this tournament. A look around quickly. Resurrection Christian is, Telluride's back on the court after losing to Resurrection Christian. On court 2, Sterling and St. Mary's on the court in 3A. Court number 4 would be Valor Christian and Ponderosa. And court 5 is on match 3 with Doherty and Chatfield. Wiley still facing a Fleming set point with a serve. Far side, Keisel with a swing, banged off the block of the net. Ball dug out back row. Purdue keeps it in play. Nobody there to make the play. And the mental error on Wiley forces the 5th. 25-23. I wasn't sure we were going to see 5 setters on this day 1 with this new scenario. But this is the second 5 setter we've seen on court 1. We'll be back with the 5th set between Fleming and Wiley at the 1A State Volleyball Tournament at the Denver Coliseum. Head to the fifth set for the second time in as many matches today here at the state volleyball tournament. The Fleming Wildcats, the Wiley Panthers. Eads got up 1-0, pretty dominant in the first one, came back and defeated Dove Creek after getting down 2-1. Fleming hoping to achieve the same. Wiley hoping to reverse that trend. Wiley in this fifth set will be going left to right. Fleming will be going right to left. First to 15 by 2. The Wildcats will start with the serve. And that serve will be in the hands of Janaea Daly. Janaea Daly will fly the serve down the middle, popped up on the far side. Backside near side, Bailey Dodson with the big swing, did not catch the block. The hitting error kicks things off here in the second. Weldon Valley, Dove Creek following this one. Short serve by Janaea Daly will be popped up by Terry Johnson, back row. Big swing, Bailey Dodson puts it down and in for the kill. Bailey Dodson has been pretty impressive. Late in the first set, she came in for the Wiley Panthers as a serious offensive option. Her serve down the middle, popped up by Chintala, back row, set near side. The attack by King off the block of the net, punch back over by Herbert. Popped up back row, set near side. The attack down the line by Terry Johnson, and in for a kill. And Wiley takes a 2-1 advantage here in the fifth. Ball lined down the middle, popped up, not cleanly, back row. That's going to be an ace. And the Wiley Panthers take a 3-1 lead here in the fifth. Bailey Dodson back with a serve, short near side, misplayed by Chintala, pushed back onto the Panther side. Set down the middle, the attack from Schneider flied way too long and out. She got underneath that one as she went up, and the Wildcats will land the serve to Abby Kurtzer. Kurtzer, top spin serve near side, popped up high off the back row. Set on the far side, and Terry Johnson across the near side. Ball dug out back row by Taylor King. Far side swing, McCall Edel checked up back row by Sabre Purdue. Far side swing, Terry Johnson banged it off the block and down and in for a kill as it came over and out. Terry Johnson has Wiley up 4-2 here in the fifth. Line serve down the middle, popped up high, back row by Janaea Daly. Set by Bornoff down the middle. King, cross shot, far side, dug out back to King, punch near side, down and in for a kill. Can I give a free ball to a team with either of these teams with the offensive weapons they have? They're able to get up there and put it down with such effectiveness. You got to play clean digs. Rachel France back to serve. France punches the ball down the near side. Ball dug out back row, set, and the attack from Terry Johnson punched into the net. And the hitting error, followed by a free ball, gives Fleming the tie at 4. France with the serve, line far side, ball misplayed. That's going to be an ace. So Rachel France picking up the ace and giving Fleming their first lead here in the fifth. And Wiley, I believe, was trying to get a timeout, but R1, the head official, had already given the go-ahead on the serve. The down official then blew the whistle. Fleming served the ball as the entire Wiley team and coaches included were standing on the floor. And now the officials are going to have to discuss. There are so many whistles that go on in this Denver Coliseum. It's difficult to keep them straight sometimes. And I think the two officials here on the court are trying to meet and figure out what whistle indicated what and that type of thing. I believe Wiley's going to have to play the point. No, they did get the timeout before the go-ahead was given. So they will take that timeout here in the fifth. State volleyball coverage on CHSAA.tv is presented to you by Viaero Wireless, offering the best coverage. 4G is now here, and it's fast. Find out more at Viaero.com. That's Viaero.com. Action cruising along on several of the courts. 1A and 3A are both still on their second matches. Every other one is on their third match. They're right on schedule. Rachel France will step back to serve for Fleming out of the timeout. She'll punch it down the middle, up 5-4. Set near side, Terry Johnson with a swing. Dug out back row by Megan Chintala. Set Timmy Keisel. Tip near side, down and in for a kill. Timmy Keisel gets the drop in, and Fleming with a 6-4 advantage. Looking to win this one in 5. Line serve down the middle. Ball be popped up back row. Back set near side. The attack banged off the block of the net by Terry Johnson. Back set far side. McCall Edel will hammer it into the block at the net. And Fleming takes a 7-4 advantage. Rachel France continues with the serve. France back. She'll line it down the near side. Ball popped up high off the back row. Chased down, and then a free ball attempt goes into the net. And Fleming goes up 8-4. France lines the ball down the near side. Popped up by Sabre Purdue for Wiley. Set it up, and a lift ball on the set. Will make it 9 for Fleming. And keep the serve with Rachel France. She'll line it down the middle. Ball popped up high, back row, set it up, and Johnson will free it over the top of the block of the net. Ball dug up back row, set near side. Taylor King, big swing, cross shot. Bailey Dodson trying to dig it out, and it goes out off of Wiley on the joust, and Fleming takes a 10-4 advantage. France lines the serve down the middle. Ball popped up high, back row, running bump set, and then Terry Johnson will punch it over. Checked up by King. France underneath it. Sets for Keisel down the middle. Banged off the block of the net. Ball chased down and free back over. Popped up by Janaea Daly back row. Set up on the near side. Taylor King with a swing. Ball off the block of the net. And the set over by France. Hammered down by Taylor Johnson. Beautiful set. Went to the wrong side of the net. Ends the Wildcat run. Panthers need a run of their own now as they'll hand the serve to senior Maggie Schneider. Schneider lines the ball near side, fielded by Chintala off the back row. Backs that far side. King, big swing through the block, dug out, and Bailey Dodson will free it over. Popped up by King on the front row. Set down the middle. Keisel banged off the block of the net. Ball cannot be kept in play, and the Wiley Panthers use a block of Terry Johnson after the kill to cut the lead down to 4. Line serve, that was going out. Megan Chintala at her heels near the back line and played a ball that was shoulder high and got aced. Fleming's lead cut down to 3. Short serve on the front row. Chintala gets aced again as she can't step forward, and Fleming takes a timeout. Got to read the ball well off the serve. The Fleming back row did not do that. Video coverage of the state volleyball tournament is presented to you by the Colorado Preps Network. For complete coverage of the state volleyball tournament as well as the state football playoffs, go to coloradopreps.com. That's coloradopreps.com. Wiley takes the court against High Plains, scheduled in match 4. Fleming will be back on the court tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. when they take on High Plains. Panthers with a serve out of the timeout. In the hands of Maggie Schneider. Schneider lines the ball down the middle, popped up high, back row by Chintala. Set far side, King tips it into the antenna. Wiley is within 1 of the Fleming Wildcats here in the 5th. Line serve by Schneider, far side. King will pop it up. France from the 10-foot line will set up for a free ball out of the back row from Chintala. Purdue pops it up back row, set far side. Terry Johnson will punch free it short. Popped up by King, back to King on the 10-foot line near side off the block. Dug back down by Keisel. And the far side swing by Johnson over the block. Chased down by King. Backs at far side. McCall Edel cross shot. Down and in for a kill. Prevents the tie. Edel, King, Keisel, and Shintala, the only four of the regulars. Well, I guess Abby Kurtzer was part of the regular rotation for Fleming last year that played in the state championship game. Terry Johnson will tip free it back over by Wiley off the serve. France will set it over. Popped up on the front row. Johnson will flat free it down the line. Diving dig out by Janaea Daly back row. Set on the near side and a free ball over by Taylor King. Popped up back row by Dodson. Set it up for Johnson. Rejected back by Keisel. Far side set. The angle outside the antenna from Brenna Cash. And Fleming grows the lead to 3, 12-9. Taylor King back to serve. King short on the front row. Popped up. One-handed set by Schneider, tipped over by Johnson, popped up on the front row. France set near side. Edel rejected back, popped up by King. Chintala chased it down, and a free ball over by Janaea Daly. Down the line, far side, ball popped up by Bailey Dodson, and they could not make a good play on a lift. It's now 13-9. King. Short serve on the front row, dug back out on the Fleming side, blocked down by Keisel, and it takes it to match point. 14-9, Fleming to go to 1-0. King will line the ball down the middle, popped up high, back row by Bailey Dodson, bumped up, and a free ball be played over by Brenna Cash, far side. Ball dug out by Taylor King, set it up McCall Edel with the cross shot, far side. Ball popped up high, back row, set far side. Brenna Cash rejected back by Keisel, then winged out. France pops it up. Keisel with the bump set and a flat free played over by McCall Edel. Too wide and out. One match point staved off by the air. Wiley still has 4 more to work with. Terry Johnson going to have to get a good serve. She'll step up. She'll line it down the middle. Popped up by Chintala back row. France sets. Keisel down the middle. Big swing down and in for a kill. And Fleming got down 2-1 and came back and won 15-10 in the fifth. 25-10, 20-25, 17-25, 25-23, and 15-10 is the final tally in favor of Fleming. They go to 1-0. We'll play at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Wiley goes to 0-1. They will play in match number 4 after what we've got coming up next. Weldon Valley and Dove Creek coming up in about 10 minutes from the 1A State Volleyball Tournament at the Denver Coliseum.